Hello and welcome to another episode of the Farr Show where I am Farr, and tonight we are talking about Marvel and their video games. Why are we talking about Marvel and their video games? Well, being honest, I had no idea what to talk about. I could have talked more about Avengers Endgame and went really spoiler in depth, but I felt, you know what, that little bit that I did on Wednesday's episode was perfect. So let's start off with the card here. So this is going to make sense to people who've seen it. They're making a Iron Man VR game for PlayStation VR. So why do I want to talk about Marvel video games? Well, Endgame just came out, so I thought, why not talk about Marvel video games? So, like I was showing, that Marvel's Iron Man is going to be for the PSVR. They already got Marvel's Spider-Man, which I loved. I've done reviews on. So, what do I think is going to happen? Well, I hope they kind of, the Iron Man voice doesn't sound the greatest, if I'm being honest, in the trailer, but I hope they make like a Marvel Sonyverse, I guess you could call it, kind of like their Spider-Verse, but just for video games. I think that'd be cool, and then maybe lead up to an Avengers style game. So let's start talking about the other games. There's X-Men the Arcade, which is a grade A game. I loved playing it. It's just a beat 'em up. It's like Ninja Turtles or Simpsons. It's a beat 'em up. It's great. X-Men for the Sega Genesis. Why am I talking about this one? Well, this is the first Marvel style game I played. I still own it. I unfortunately forgot to bring it out, but I love that game. I don't know why. It's just a side-scroller beat 'em up, not like how the X-Men arcade game is like this, where it's at an angle. It's just straight-on 2D fighter. Pretty much like Mario, if Mario wanted to beat the shit out of everybody. Perfect. So, really, then we're getting into where I know basics here, because I haven't really played some of these. Marvel vs. Capcom, the whole series. There's Marvel vs. Capcom, or there's technically the X-Men vs. Street Fighter, X-Men vs. Capcom, if I remember correctly. They'll just be listed there. Where I haven't played any of them, but I wanted to play Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite. If they made it where the actual like collector's edition, instead of a statue of Captain Marvel, Iron Man, and then the two Capcom characters was the Infinity Gauntlet, I would have totally bought it right away. Then they have X-Men Legends and Marvel Ultimate Alliance, which is coming to the Switch. The third one is, at least. I haven't played any of them, so I'm excited to actually play them. And then skipping to where they're doing more movie games here, we're talking about the movie game. X-Men 3. That's a joke. That's not the movie game. One of the best movie games ever, though. X-Men Origins Wolverine. I've said it in my review of Wolverine. This should just be the movie for X-Men Origins, not that crappy movie they made. So, if you haven't played it, go play it. That's definitely one that I'd recommend playing. I could play it every day of the week if you told me to.
That's not really exactly true. I couldn't really play it every day of the week. It's not like Halo for me, where I could play it every day of the week.
But it's a great game nonetheless. It's pretty much a hack and slash, which is really cool. And for the PlayStation 3 and Xbox 360, they called it X-Men Origins Wolverine Uncaged Edition, which I thought was a cool way to do it. Then, finally, we're getting a Marvel Cinematic Universe tie-in, which is the only one on this list, really, which is Captain America Super Soldier. Have not played it. I think the game looks terrible in the best way possible. It's kind of like how X-Men Origins Wolverine is terrible in the best way possible. I think this game looks great. I don't know why. I just want to play it. So, I'm looking about getting it sooner or later. Deadpool, made by High Moon Studios, the guys who made Transformers, War for Cybertron, Fall of Cybertron, Dark Watch, I think it's called. They've made a good amount of games, and they made Deadpool, which unfortunately you can't get on Steam anymore because it keeps getting taken down because Activision's lost the license for Marvel, but that's okay. I really like this game. It's funny. I played it at my buddy's house. It's only like 7-8 hours of gameplay for the story, and there only is a story, so it's pretty sweet. It's pretty much Deadpool wants his own video game, and he gets these guys to make it. Then they got the Lego games, so Lego Marvel Superheroes 1 and 2, and then Lego Marvel's The Avengers. So it's Lego versions of the movies. Well, of at least Avengers, and then some stories. I mean, I think it's pretty sweet, personally. I just don't know. The only Lego games I really actually have are the Star Wars ones and Indiana Jones, because Obviously, I love Star Wars. I want a Lego Death Star sooner or later. And Lego Indiana Jones because I thought it was funny that they included Indiana Jones in the complete saga of Lego. Then Guardians of the Galaxy, the Telltale series. Unfortunately, Telltale is not a game developer anymore, but I really think this game looked promising. I'm actually probably gonna buy it. I don't know what price it is right now, but it's probably right there on Steam. So I was probably gonna go give it a buy and give it a play sometime. Maybe I'll stream it in the future. I think that'd be sweet. Then we're at Marvel's Spider-Man, which I said honestly, I'm not a big Spider-Man fan. I say that all the time, but really, the last couple of years, Spider-Man's really grown on me. I liked Tobey Maguire. I loved Andrew Garfield. Tom Holland is just perfect. He's the best of both. And then this Spider-Man game here, great. Great. So, I don't know what else to say. Then Marvel's Iron Man, the PSVR game, which I think looks good too. It doesn't look great, but it looks good. I'm kind of thinking that Sony's making their own Avengers on the side. Maybe that was part of the deal with, Marvel, that they get to use Spider-Man in the MCU. Hey, we want to use Spider-Man in games and stuff like that. Maybe. I don't know, though. I'm not really an analyst or anything like that. And then Marvel's Avengers, which is made by Square Enix and Crystal Dynamics. This game we haven't seen for years. I don't know what's happened with it. I don't know anything about it. So, what games do you like of Marvel made? Tell me in the comments below. Like I said, these are just a few. I haven't played all of them, but some of these are the bigger ones, personally, that I could see. So, tell me your favorite Marvel game in the comments below. Tell me your favorite Marvel game in general. It can be any of these. I'm personally inclined to say X-Men Origins Wolverine or Marvel Spider-Man. I think both those are great. X-Men Origins Wolverine replaces the movie in my mind. So again, tell me in the comments below, what's your favorite Marvel video game? And as always, don't forget to like, share, comment, subscribe, hit that bell icon, and have a far off night.